Don't say blah, blah, blah. He's gonna need a vacation after this vacation. How's it, everybody? Kiakahi Matsumoto here, presenting to you all another honest film review of 2018. This time around, Hotel Transylvania 3 Summer Vacation. Although it's known internationally as A Monster Vacation, and I don't know why they didn't keep that title. That honestly fits better. It just rolls off the tongue better. Anyway, before I get into this, let me know in the comments below for question of the video. What were your thoughts on the third installment in the Hotel Transylvania franchise? Did you like it? Did you hate it? Or were you just indifferent to it and could have just done without it? Well, I haven't been a huge hardcore fan of the Hotel Transylvania film franchise. I have to admit, they are quite funny, and they're a nice change of pace from what I'm used to seeing, like the typical superhero movies. I also enjoy thoroughly their unique take on a family portrayal. One thing they don't show often in animated films is that Drac is a widower. His wife Martha died when Mavis, his daughter, was just an infant, and Mavis and Johnny basically interracial, and they have a human vampire kid named Dennis. Adam Sandler, Selena Gomez, and Johnny Sandberg return to reprise their roles as Dracula, Mavis, Drac's daughter, and Johnny, Drac's son-in-law and Mavis's human husband. Also returning from the first and second installments are Dennis, Drac's grandson, and Adamphir, a human-vampire hybrid, voiced by Asher Blinkoff, Frankenstein's monster, who is known as Frank to his friends, voiced by Kevin James, Griffin the Invisible Man, voiced by David Spade, aka Kuzco from The Emperor's New Groove, for those who don't know, Wayne and Wanda the werewolves, who are both overwhelmed by the ridiculously large number of children, voiced by Steve Buscemi and Molly Shannon, respectively. Murray the Mummy, who is voiced by Keegan-Michael Key, who replaces CeeLo Green in the second film and reprises his role in this one. Eunice, Frank's wife, who is voiced by Fran Drescher. Winnie the Werewolf, Wayne and Wanda's daughter and Dennis's best friend, who is voiced by Sadie Sandler. And Drac's father, Vlad, who is more of a comic relief role this time around and is less serious than he was in his introduction in Hotel Transylvania 2, voiced by living legend Mel Brooks. So Mavis books a vacation for Drac because she feels her dad needs a vacation from running other people's vacations, when in reality, Drac is just lonely because his wife Martha died over a century prior. Drac and the pack end up on a cruise ship where Drac falls for the ship's captain Erica, who is voiced by Kathryn Hahn. And she appears to share a mutual attraction with him. But there is more to Erica than meets the eye, as she is revealed to be the great-granddaughter of Abraham Van Helsing, one of Drac's old enemies, who is voiced by Jim Gaffigan. Hilarity ensues with chaotic results for everyone around. The things I liked about this one are the humor, particularly the blah 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 running gag seen across all three films. Now that is a classic example of how a running gag should be used. The animation, while it is exaggerated, it does add to the uniqueness of the film. The more emotional stakes than physical, which is kind of typical of the series, and how it revolves around the family and spending time with them. I also liked how it showcases the rarely used idiom like father, like daughter. While Drac was the overprotective type in the first film, it's Mavis who is shown to be the more overprotective type in both the second and third film. In the second one, it was more towards Dennis. In the third one, it's to her dad, particularly in regards to Erica. And speaking of family dynamics, Dennis, who keeps stealing every scene he's in, and his best friend Winnie, since they are a bit older here than in the first film, they're showing more of a disobedient slash mischievous streak, as most kids do when they get to be that age, which I thought was an interesting touch as well as a comical one, although I probably won't be laughing about it when I get to be a dad myself. Winnie making Dennis feel uncomfortable with her flirtatious remarks and gestures towards him was equally funny. I also liked how in this film they have a clear, concise, distinct villain in the movie, which had not been seen in any of the prior two films, which I thought was a nice touch. Now, here were the things I wasn't so crazy about. Certain elements in the film, particularly towards the end, felt a bit too cliche for my tastes. Some of the humor wasn't even funny and had me and my friend Lanecki slapping our foreheads in annoyance. Abraham Van Helsing was a bit underwhelming as a villain. And honestly, his and Erica's character models could have had a bit more work done on them, particularly Van Helsing. He just looked ridiculous as a human. I mean, I saw his character model and I thought, sorry man, but you are no Hugh Jackman. The climax of the film really didn't feel all that high stakes, and the final fight did feel kind of underwhelming. And even though it did have a distinct plot, it really wasn't all that strong. It was kind of weak, if I'm being honest. It was still an enjoyable family film nonetheless. However, I would not go rushing in droves to the theaters to see this film, as it's not quite as high caliber a movie as the ones that DreamWorks and Pixar typically belt out routinely. But all in all, I give this one a 7.5 out of 10. Nice work to director Gendy Tartakovsky, who is the creator of Samurai Jack, fun fact. But please take your time if you do a part 4. Anyway, that wraps it up for my review on Hotel Transylvania 3 Summer Vacation. I hope this answers any and all questions you may have. And if not, please feel free to shoot me a comment down below. And again, you don't have to agree with my opinions. You just have to know what I saw and what I observed. Up next, a black alien slime called a symbiote bonds with a reporter named Eddie Brock and gives him superhuman abilities so long as they are joined, and a new origin story based on the Lethal Protector storyline, and without the New York's friendly neighborhood wall crawler, Venom. So, anyway, have a great day or evening, depending on what time zone you're in. Stay safe. Good night, everybody.